So what were you saying?
Well, you know, it's mentioned that because I'm a black author that I probably won't get noticed as much because black audiences don't like to read. White audiences, they come out to a place like the Festival of Books and they'll come out and show up and show out for their favorite authors. So I could be one of those authors that write about subjects that a white audience might be interested in, like politics or pop culture or whatever they're involved in. But I like to write about South Los Angeles and the people that live in South Los Angeles, which is, you know, majority brown and black, and not only that, a few white people sprinkled in. But I would say that's pretty much my aim, and I think that's always going to be my aim because it's what I'm good at. I feel that like the science fiction collection I wrote last year could be a way for me to have a diverse audience, and not just the audience that people think I'm striving for, but just writing different stories. Even the crime thriller I'm writing, I'm hoping that will get audiences on both sides of all genres, of all faces and places, and we'll see what happens.
Well, what's so special about South LA to you?
It's the people that I grew up with, and also, yeah, it's definitely the people. Always the people, the elders I've met, the women, older women that I met who was kind of like mentors to me, the teachers who influenced me to write and helped me become a writer. And also my fellow students and friends growing up, and also just experience of living here before the gang violence happened. And even though the gang violence did happen, it was one of those things that, you know, it's unfortunate, but it's something to learn from growing in the neighborhood. It's part of the neighborhood, which has been featured on all the local, all the nationwide channels, you know, all the cable channels and news channels, and had a negative, you know, connotation for many years because it was in movies such as Boys in the Hood or Menace to Society, but that's the way we all lived back then. People my age, Gen X age, and some of the boomers, and I'm looking to say South LA is much more than that. It's the people, it's the history, it's just the feeling of being around your own people and being around people that, you know, supported you and helped you as a young person to become mature and to grow and to advance in life. So that's what South LA means to me.
Okay. So would people see a lot of it in your writing about South LA?
Yeah, people do see a lot of it in my writing South LA. For example, in Stormwood South Central, which is my third book, the short stories kind of give you an idea of what life has been living in South LA, or at one time called South Central. You can look at a story like The Party and see how gang violence kind of just changes the lives of people who attended that event. Or you can read a story like The Albatross, which is, of course, South LA themes in that story, especially the early part of the story. Or Last Night at the Club, you can learn about how life was in South LA with the clubs and people running the clubs back then. Or you can look at a story like perhaps Relay, and the four young men are from South LA, but they attend the Valley School and run for the high school as far as a track team. But at the same time, they still come back to the neighborhood and have to deal with issues in the neighborhood. And all my characters, all my characters I've written are based on people, not exactly the people, but examples of people that I've met in my lifetime. Elders, young people, people that I've known, friends I used to know, and things like that. And it makes the experience a lot more rewarding because I'm telling the story of South LA that, again, the major news networks fail to cover because, you know, of all that negative history that we had. But also gives people who live outside the community, even the ones in the East Coast, South, or the Midwest, an idea of what South LA is like rather than having the movies show you or the national media show you. So that's my goal.